Man, I'm 44 years old, bro. That's not a doctor. That's him depicting himself as Jesus Christ. That is blasphemy in its purest form.
Politics are one thing, but stepping into that area is a little bit different. A little bit stings for me a little bit.
I think he believes that he's the savior for the world. He's made a lot of good happen. So.
Oh, fuck.
That's a disgrace. I'm very upset about that. I mean, how egotistical can you possibly be? I'm ashamed that he would actually do that. It's a man I voted for and trust.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were.
She absolutely cooked with this one. Listen.
Donald Trump is the exact type of president that is elected in a country where more than 50% of the population cannot read above a 6th grade level. This man is the illiterate's president. Every time I see this man speak in public, not only do I get secondhand embarrassment, but I genuinely feel like I'm going crazy asking myself how someone who is that stupid can even receive one freaking vote.
You're going to be finding out real quick. And I think people that are in the Christian community, within the people that consider themselves Christians, there is a lot of questionable behavior within the Christian community right now.
Greetings, my BPPN family. Welcome to Bold Perspectives Network. I'm Mr. Red. We're going to review another video from Dark Brandon titled, MAGA Turns on Its Own, What Happens When You Leave the Cult. So we're going to listen to an account of this woman that we just saw in the opening clip. But in addition to that, I'm actually going to show you another video of MAGA voters actually throwing a tantrum because the world is actually boycotting them. I want you to hear what this woman has to say about trying to leave MAGA and some of the problems within MAGA. If you've been watching this channel, you know that I've been showing you the hate and the vitriol coming from the right, particularly MAGA, particularly those right-wingers who are in support of Trump. I believe that by understanding this, we can know that there's no change in their minds. They have to come to these conclusions on their own. And most of them are going to have to come to this conclusion from the pain that they experience from one Donald Trump. We have much to discuss. Let's strap in. Let's get after it.
There's a couple of different groups here, right? She's not only talking about MAGA, but she's talking about Christians before she starts taking swipes at Christians, because we all know there's no true Scotsman. But let's get a little deeper into specifics. Let's look at the people calling her out and what they're saying.
But if you could read a handful of the comments, and these are real people, because I did take the time, because some of the comments were so vicious and demeaning and condescending and in such attack mode. I wanted to discern whether or not that was a bot or a real person. And they are, every single one that I looked at this morning, which was a good 4 or 5, there were a couple more, but 4 or 5, they are real people.
If you go ahead and watch the Drewski video, you see that there are a bunch of MAGA commentators, not just regular people, but MAGA commentators who found what Drewski did appalling. Even though for years they do and say things that are appalling, they will go ahead and support the most vile and racist stuff being said. Yet we are supposed to just sit back and take that. So it's no surprise to me that you still have real people who they're so miserable in their own life that they have time to comment some of the craziest stuff. Now, as a content creator, I get negative comments all the time. And guess what? I don't pay them no mind. I block them half the time. If you say something and you're not in support of the channel, then why are you here?
They are people that have been subscribed to my channel. One was a follower on Facebook that I have seen before.
And so let's take a step back and put this in perspective. You were morally bankrupt enough to go vote for the guy who bragged about grabbing pussy and, oh yeah, was a convicted felon. She now has this moral epiphany and wakes up to realize, oh shit, I've been bamboozled by Donald Trump, only to have her community turn on her. And you got to remember, a big part of MAGA is community. So many of the people who belong to the cult needed some sense of belonging in their life.
This sense of belonging makes sense. There's a thought that there are lonely single men out there, And it's something that's happening right now for all men. And don't get me wrong, there's a battle of the sexes going on online. But the truth of the matter is the lonely single men predominantly are coming from that white community. These men were promised something, they thought they would just get it, and now they're not. And now they're seeing that their women don't even want them. And I believe that's partly what they're mad about. They don't have friends, they're awkward, they don't know how to talk to people, they have no sense of style on their own. And then the ones who are doing well, what do they look for? They look to be a part of something bigger than themselves. Even if that thing that's bigger than themselves is going to hurt people. Because this is how morally bankrupt this country is. It corrupts people. And you have to realize that when you step outside of this country, that's the way everyone sees us. Because all of our actions are done in the interest of self. We don't even do everything in the interest of this own country. At least a person could respect that. Hey, at least that country is doing what it's America first. We might hate the leadership, we may hate the attitude, but we know what we're getting when we see it. Now, no one even believes it. The veil and the blindfold has been taken off. When MAGA has this outrage about everything going on, why not? You all were screaming America first. So these countries are like, well, F you. We're going to start thinking about ourselves first.
You don't like America? Get out. Get out. We don't want you here either. You don't want to be here? We don't want you. It's perfect. Go home.
So we're here. We're checked-in. And just a matter of waiting. And you know what? There's hardly anybody around. Just look, I'll show you how quiet this airport is right now. This is proof that nobody is traveling to the United States anymore. Just look.
If you hate America so much, why don't you move to another country? Because it's better to dodge American bullets than dodge American bombs.
If you don't like America, then why do you still live here? Because I can't afford to move. Do you know why I can't afford to move? Because all of my money goes to America.
You wouldn't have gone on holiday to Nazi Germany, would you? You wouldn't have gone and spent your hard-earned money in a state that was actively committing a genocide, would you? You wouldn't have knowingly gone and spent your money and therefore supported an economy of a state that was knowingly committing human rights monstrosities, would you? So why the are we still going to America on vacation?
Would you ever move to America?
No, never, no.
No interest in moving there. It's a complete hole.
You'd step over there and you already lose like 10 of the rights that you have here.
It's a disgusting place. They've got no NHS whatsoever. It's an absolute dump.
Why would anybody outside the US visit the US right now? The risks so outweigh any reason to go to the States.
Now, I've had the chance to go out of this country multiple times. I even had a chance to live outside of the country for a little bit. And I would like to do that again in the future. But right now, the way things are going, America's popularity is so down right now, it's almost scary to go anywhere. And the war that we've started here is going to start affecting a bunch of other places. But I wanted you to see that last part, because while MAGA is even fighting with itself, you can't even get out of the cult. Other people around the world see this. They see what we're going through. I talk to my friends in other countries. In their minds, this shit is the worst thing possible. And though nothing might be happening to me currently right now, just like him, you can see the tea leaves happening. We all are marching toward our own destruction. And you know who is sending us there? It's white people. White people are sending us there because of their hatred, because they haven't dealt with America's original sin, because they want to continue to sweep racism under the rug. And don't tell me that they're not, because now they're trying to take away black exhibits. They're trying to take away funding for any type of black museums. They're trying to rewrite the books. This is all the things that Germany did back in the 1930s to try to erase certain things that were in the books. We're doing it here now. We're no better than them. And when you look at those history books and you ask yourself, how did this ever happen? It's all because of the cult. It's all because of MAGA.
Sales taxes and other tourism-related fees. Less tourism for you means less funding in education, transit, and infrastructure in your city or state.
This is the part where the irony stops being subtle and just starts slapping you in the face. MAGA spent years screaming America first, and then turned around and handed the steering wheel to a guy whose main business credential is bankrupting a casino. A casino. That's like failing at printing money. And somehow, this was the man they trusted to run the largest economy on earth like a business. Well, he ran it all right. Ran it straight into the mud, and then convinced half the country it was a scenic route.
But it's not difficult when you consider that a lot of his voters voted for him because they see themselves in him. He is accessible to them. With his limited vocabulary, his poor emotional intelligence, his predatory ways, these people see themselves in him. People care more that their politicians are funny, attractive, well-dressed, well-groomed. They prioritize all of these superficial qualities over their actual credential. People's ideas are formed by mainstream media, by television. And who owns all of that? People who cannot read and do not have access to the written word, they do not have critical thinking skills. They are more susceptible to propaganda. They are extremely gullible. They are at the will and mercy of what people on television tells them. They have poor historical awareness. They literally cannot think for themselves. And this is how we end up, especially with someone like Donald Trump. If credentials were even part of the equation, this man wouldn't have been able to run in the first place.